Welcome to Broken Entertainment. So we have some comic book disaster news to talk about today, and some interesting stuff coming out of heavy metal, we'll put it that way. So you may or may not remember Heavy Metal magazine from the 80s and the 70s. Well, apparently they're still a thing. I didn't know. And they have decided that since they're still a thing and people don't really know they exist anymore and their sales are down and they're part of a comic book industry that's flaming and crashing and burning, that the best thing to do would be to redesign a classic character and then insult their fans. So we're going to get into that. I'm going to show you some awful images from I Am Not Starfire, which has a preview on IGN, and some sales numbers that will not surprise you. But yeah, let's get into it. The comic book industry is falling apart and it's pushing itself off the cliff. So, starting with heavy metal, this is Unbounding into comics, and you know, they're pretty famous basically for pushing the envelope, for being graphic, for, you know, depicting a lot of scantily clad women in their books. And they're also famous for nobody remembers them after the 80s, I think. You know, do you ever see them brought up? No. Nobody ever brings up heavy metal unless they're talking about the stuff from the 80s. But here it is. Look at this art, the original one. So I'm going to skim a lot of this because I'm really more interested in what heavy metal has to say than what this article is saying. But so let's see. Here we go. Heavy Metal magazine first shared the cover to Instagram to promote an interview with Stephanie Phillips, with CBR about the finale and her plans for Tarna and the new armor. So click on here. This is her new armor, and it is hideous. I don't like anything about this, and I'm not going to go into the whole, you know, how they should portray women thing. I don't care. But I do want to look at this picture because this armor is so bad. It just doesn't look good. I'm sorry. If you want to put her in some full plate, put her in some good looking full plate. I don't know what this is other than ugly. If you're unfamiliar with Tarna, Heavy Metal magazine's official description reads, Tarna is the last living Tarakian and the guardian of the universe, a hybrid being born of the great warrior Tarnak and a dying universe. Tarna is the personified form of one of the youngest universes in the multiverse. What a weird... This is fine. This picture down here. They add, with her flying steed, Avis, and armed with her sword, Novera, Tarna travels from world to world, protecting the universe from the threat of Keiko, the embodiment of evil. Tarna removes all the weeds that threaten the health of her universe, which is a cosmic garden from her point of view. As you can see, Tarna is typically depicted in a bikini outfit with a pauldron and gauntlet on her right arm. However, that changed in Tarna number 5, where she put on a full suit of armor. Now, this article complains a lot about that. I'm not going to go into that. They apparently made this decision from a story perspective. I don't know if I believe that or not, but that's what they're saying. And I just don't care enough because it's heavy metal and nobody cares. But this is her modern art before they put her in the suit. And it's fine. You know, it's pretty good looking art. All around, monsters included. Then she puts on this and it just looks bad. It's not good art. Whether you agree with the full plate or not, none of it works. Okay, the torso is weirdly colored and the details all kind of merge into just kind of a dark mass. I don't know what's going on with the shoulder guard here. It looks like there's a bunch of slugs that sit on it. You know, it's just not good armor. It just doesn't look good. You could have done a nice clean look that would have been pretty awesome, but they didn't. And then, yeah, and then she gets in a fight with this full plate on. And this is really important to look at. but just from the perspective of not good storytelling. So she puts this full plate on, and it's supposed to be this awesome armor, right? So she gets in a fight, and she gets hit in the back with a mace. That's fine. Then she gets kicked. Now I want you to look at the feet down here. Most of these men are barefoot. Okay? And they might have like a greave here. She's holding the spot where she got kicked. The guy's foot would have broken. Like, I mean, come on. In response to a number of their fans, this is where it gets to be a problem for me. To me, it's all about respect. You respect your fans. You respect the story. You respect your narrative. You respect all these things. But primarily, you respect your fans because they're the ones that put you where you are. One user wrote, they finally cover she up. Okay, interesting grammar. Heavy metal responded, most people have more than one outfit. Okay. Another wrote, R.I.P. Tarna. Heavy metal responded, does changing clothes kill people? We had no idea. Do you not change your underwear? This explains so much. You cannot target your fans like this. I'm sorry. You can't do it. I don't care who you are. It's one thing to disagree with them, which, first of all, they shouldn't engage in this at all. But you cannot. You're directly, not indirectly, not, oh, people who feel this way might be ists and phobes. You're directly insulting people now. This is a direct insult to the person who responded. You can't do that. It's not only have you just lost that customer, you've just lost anyone else that likes them. And you've lost a lot of other people too who may not have had a dog in this fight, but see you responding this way to somebody, and they're like, oh, hell no. This is a magazine people forgot existed. They cannot be doing this. One wrote, I'm torn. While I generally despise bikini armor as a whole, I have also pretty severe disdain for the complete changing of iconic characters and looks. At what point does it become an entirely different character, and where is the ridiculous line for scantily clad heroines? Heavy Metal answered, have you read the book to understand the context of the outfit, or are you just making assumptions? Trust us, read it, and you'll understand. Also, people should change clothes and looks. That's natural. But that's not how superheroes work, alright? Once in a while, they change their outfit a little bit, but they always go back. It's just how superheroes work. Changing outfit doesn't really make sense from a story perspective. Whatever. I don't know the story enough to care. As you can see below, it reads, it has come to our attention that some of you are confused that Tarna has the ability to change clothes. See, look at this. This level of snark, this level of bullshit attitude directed at your customers, you can't. This is one of the great problems with the comic book industry, only it's cranked up to 11. They're like, oh, we're just going to straight up insult people now. And it's not even artists doing it. It's not storytellers doing it. It's the company. This is the company. We'd like to remind you that you too can change clothes, and to please do so, specifically your underwear. We've gotten complaints from the neighbors. Come on, man. Come on. They also added an official statement, relax guys, it's just armor. We know change is scary, but you got this. This is heavy metal. We've always experimented and pushed the envelope because that's art. It changes, grows, and evolves. We have and always will push the boundaries of art, storytelling, and culture. Except putting armor, putting full plate on a woman, that's not pushing any boundaries. What's pushing boundaries is you being insulting little dicks about all this. Why are you treating your customers like this? Why? If you're uncomfortable with change and growth, then you'll go the way of the dinosaur. Instead, we encourage you to open your mind, go to hell. Needless to say, fans weren't happy with this response either. One person wrote, the changes sucked, respect your fans. Here's the big one to me. Remember what they said. The changes suck because it does. It looks terrible. Respect your fans. Their response to that, the company's official response, the first word is its own sentence. No. They're told to respect their fans. Their answer is literally no. And then they say, we don't want fans like that. We are good, thank you. So you don't want fans that like the old art. You don't like fans that like the old image of the character. And you have flat out said in a one-word sentence, you have no intention of respecting your fans. That is disgusting. And this company deserves to be forgotten if this is the way they're going to behave. Okay, and then another fan wrote, the new people running heavy metal must really hate the fans. Why do you hate us? Then they responded, think about your question realistically. You're an adult, as we assume. Would it make sense for a company that works so hard to create and bring new art to hate its fans? I don't think so, but you just said you do. You just said you're not going to respect your fans. You straight up, in a one-word sentence, unless you do not understand the English language, that's what that means. When you respond to a comment with the word no and a period, that means you do not agree with what they're saying. And what they were saying was to respect your fans, and you said no. Or are you just uncomfortable with change and growth? Do you hate us because we've grown out of the box in your comfort level? Well, because you put full plate on someone? Oh, grow up. There's nothing edgy about that. You put, oh no, you covered up a woman. Oh boy. Oh, it's so edgy. We love our fans, but they can either grow up with or stay behind clinging to an idealized past. So you don't love your fans. Commenter wrote, cartoon lady, wear more cloth now. Yeah, someone's being an asshole. So, someone mocks everybody that does. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Somebody mocks everybody that likes the old art, basically. And they respond, sadly, this is close to some of the response. See, look, you're a company. You sell a product. Okay? Think about it in that regard. Don't take the art out of it. Take the comic out of it. You sell a product. You change the product. Your customers, who you don't have very many of anymore, say, hey, we don't really like the way this has changed. Now, you can say, that's all right. We're going to try to get new customers. We're going to try to expand our brand. We're going to see if these people eventually come to like it. And you don't respond. Or you can tell your fans to suck it, which is basically what they're doing. And your customers are going to say, you know what? If you're going to tell me I have to like your product or to go away, I'm going to go away. And that's what people have been doing in the comic industry for years now. And we have the evidence right here. Top 20 adult graphic sales, April 2021 in the United States. Every single one of these top 20 books is a manga. Every single top 20 graphic novels sold in the United States in the month of April of this year is foreign made. Every single one. You have companies straight up insulting their fans. And then you have stuff like this. This is from I Am Not Starfire. Look at the art. This is a DC graphic novel. Look at the art. And then this is aimed at young adults. So let's get into this and what it has to say. They're talking about homework. They're working on Hamlet. I mean, what if instead of like mental illness, which is kind of a messed up way of putting it, we just do Ophelia, like write about her, like a new interpretation. This is the least self-aware comic panel I have ever seen. This is what they have been doing to the industry. They've been sitting down saying, well, this sucks. What if we just rewrite it? And then their fans have been leaving. And then they say, yeah, like, okay, pause for a second. They phrase this stuff all the time. Yeah, like. How often have you seen a modern kid constantly just say like? That's a not late 90s, early to mid 2000s thing. That's not current at all. These people don't even understand their audience. I feel like the play would be better if Ophelia was written by the play would be better if the Ophelia was written by a woman. Yeah, because no, I'll just leave it. That could be the assignment, right? If we just rewrite her scenes with Hamlet, yeah. So she's all like, Hamlet, you're a whiny asshole, and I'm too good for you. And Hamlet is all, but my life is so hard. You need to give me all your emotional resources. Top 20 graphic novel sales, United States. No U.S. made graphic novels. Wonder why. So as it turns out, Heavy Metal was recently purchased by. So they brought in this new leadership team, and this new leadership team said, we're not selling much. We're in a struggling comic industry that people are turning away from in droves in favor of manga. What if we just insult our fans? What if we just come out and straight up insult our fans? You do that. And in 5 years, I won't say, oh, Heavy Metal, that's still a thing. I'll say, yeah, remember when that was a thing? Because you're going to be out of business. You cannot. No matter what they say, no matter how rude, no matter what people do as a company or a creator, if you have customers, you cannot tell them to go away because they will. And you cannot insult them because they will go away. That kind of snark, that unprofessional stuff that we read, that destroys companies. Destroys customer bases. It drives people away. It does not bring people in. But we're seeing it more and more. And then we're getting art like this garbage. And we're getting poorly written crap like this. And we're getting woman good, man bad out of all of this. So the men, who are the vast majority of their customer base, are all turning away. And they're scratching their heads wondering why. This is why. Let me know what you think of this nightmare in the comments section. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. And I will see you next time.